Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Is William Ruto laying a deadly trap for ODM party ahead of 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya? Or is William Ruto offering ODM party the best deal in 2027? I'm asking that question because clearly something is happening in ODM party. ODM party is laying an elaborate strategy to enter into agreement with UDA party.
Mheshimiwa William Ruto, kwa sababu tuliwachwa kule na wakati huo hatukuwa na agreement baina ya William Ruto na Raila Odinga. Ni kwa sababu Raila ameenda, tumeamua kupitia kwa Central Committee mpaka wakae chini sasa tuandike mkataba. Tukifika 2027 tuwe na mkataba baina ya UDA na ODM.
Kama jimbo zote za Kenya ambazo ziko hapa siku ya leo, tumekubaliana kwa kauli moja, hayo mapendekezo ndio tena nayo, na wale wajaridhika ama wapendi ya mapendekezo, ni vyema pia vizuri waambiwe ukweli wakati huu, wajiondoe. Gari letu limeondoka na tunaelekea mbele. Tunaangalia 2027 na tayari kamati inaenda kuundwa ya kuongea na chama ya UDA kama tutakubaliana ama tutakubaliana. Na hizo kamati ambazo tutakuwa inaongea, tumepeana ruhusa kama wajumbe, na katika zile structure zetu za chama tumekubaliana nazo. Na tunamwomba Dr. Buru ambaye ni kiongozi wetu vile vile atembee kwa zile region zote tena zile baba alizungumza nao wakati alikuwa anaenda kuform broad based government. Na sisi tunasema hapo ndio tuko, na mtu yote afurahi, narudia kusema ajiondoe mapema. Sisi hapa ni broad based na tutaunga Rais William Ruto mkono kwa mambo ya broad based na serikali ambayo ameunda.
And we all know that in politics you have only two constants. The first constant in politics is normally interest. What is William Ruto's interest in this particular working agreement? Because that interest must favor the president. And what is the political interest of ODM party in that deal? Will William Ruto agree that the deal between UDA and ODM party will favor ODM as a political party? The truth is 2027 presidential elections. The truth is 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya is going to be an interesting one for several reasons. Number one, ODM party might not produce a presidential candidate. Number two, William Ruto is going into that election minus Mount Kenya. He's been with them on 3 elections. And again, for the first time, Raila Odinga is not going to be on the ballot in that election. And ODM is making moves. And clearly from those moves, ODM party is going to enter into a deal with William Ruto.
Pre-election political alliances. The committee meeting expressed the intention to initiate structured negotiations with different political formations, beginning with the United Democratic Alliance. To this end, we have mandated the party leader to commence this process. Concurrently, consultations with party members will proceed.
Of course, for ODM party, after the death of Raila Odinga, their options are very limited. William Ruto is also depending on ODM party fully for his re-election because the mountain which he gave him the highest number of votes are gone. So in this video, I want us to look at why ODM party must be very, very careful before they enter into this deal with the UDA party. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, ODM party must be very, very careful with this particular deal. Why? Number one, if they have to enter into this deal, they must ensure that ODM party retains its identity as ODM and as a political party. The problem is, the moment they will enter into this deal, who is going to be the party leader? Who is going to call the shots? William Ruto. And because William Ruto is going to call the shots, the identity of the party might be lost. ODM party has been in existence for 20 good years, which means ODM members associate with the orange color. So today, if you are to wake up and introduce yellow colors to ODM members, they might not accept. And that is the biggest challenge William Ruto will also have to face. So if they were to sign this agreement, my advice would be they figure out how best ODM as a party will retain its identity. I just want to give you the case of NC party. NC party of Musalia Mudavadi agreed and folded. As we speak, Musalia Mudavadi is actually struggling with political identity. Weta has Ford Kenya, Natembeya has NAP Kenya. Mudavadi does not have a political party. So, if they are not careful, they are likely to lose their political identity. That's number one. Number two is what I call party competition, or what we can call zoning. You see, 2027 is going to be very, very interesting, particularly for ODM party. Allow me to explain. ODM party had their strongholds: Nyanza, Coast, Northern Kenya, and parts of Luhya like Busia and Kakamega. If they were to agree to an agreement with UDA, and let us take the case of Kakamega, do you think William Ruto will easily cede grounds in Kakamega for ODM? What about Nairobi? Because the best would be Nairobi, known for ODM, let them leave them for ODM party. But that might not happen. And in case that won't happen, if they want zone, then UDA is going to have a lot of members. Take, for example, the coastal region. If coastal region will not be zoned for ODM party, it means UDA can actually win, because there's no Raila Odinga. They are not on the presidential ticket as a political party. Yeah. And again, if you look at it critically, that is same zoning is also not very good. For example, in Nyanza here, if you have to say Nyanza is for ODM party, where then do you take the UDA members here? Where do you take them? So it's a very complex issue which requires serious balancing act. But it's something they have to agree. If they want, then ODM is going to lose majority of its members of the current parliament. Because after they started working with William Ruto, their grounds they've already lost. That's number two. Number three, there is what is called interest in politics. And let me call it by its name: political betrayal. William Ruto entered into an agreement with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta went further and confirmed that indeed it was going to be yangu kumi, yako kumi. What happened next? Uhuru Kenyatta decided to support Raila Odinga. That ended there. Then William Ruto picked Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate. As we speak, Rigathi Gachagua is not in office. Raila Odinga campaigned for Mwai Kibaki on a wheelchair. Even before Mwai Kibaki was sworn in, Raila Odinga was being frustrated already. So which means in Kenyan political context, there's always one constant: betrayal. ODM can write a very good agreement and sign it with UDA party, but it will take the goodwill of the president to keep that. And therefore, ODM should not rule out the possibility of political betrayal. Number 4 is post-William Ruto's politics. You see, as we speak, Ruto is going to do a Kibaki thing, if you are to ask me. In the first term of Mwai Kibaki, he went as NAC. In the second term, Mwai Kibaki lost support of the group Raila Odinga were with. Then he had to look for small political parties, many political parties, and he brought them together regionally. I'm looking at William Ruto and I'm seeing that's exactly what he's going to do. Mudavadi, Weta, Raila, he's going to look for all those other political parties. What promise do you think he will be giving them? Kindiki will be promised support for 2032. ODM will be promised the same. Mudavadi will be promised the same. So at the end of the day, only one person will be supported. And if that one person will not be ODM as a political party, that's going to disrupt their succession politics, because ODM party is saying us, we are going to relax. Because Raila has passed on, of course, we are not very ready. We are going to relax a bit until 2032. And with that confusion, it's going to be very difficult. Of course, even right now, ODM is already divided. A divided ODM party is good for President Ruto, but it's not good for the party. Because if ODM is divided and say tomorrow they support Ruto, Sifuna and the group decides to go the other way, then after the election, Ruto says, okay, mimi nabaki na UDA, my UDA. Then the ODM group says, okay, let us also leave. They leave with small group. And that will disrupt the 2020. That will disrupt post-William Ruto's politics. And lastly, in the Republic of Kenya today, there is serious rage against William Ruto. I don't know why. But there's serious rage. Against William Ruto's government. And because of that rage, ODM party is currently experiencing it. People are just attacking ODM for no reason. Even on this channel, I am under serious attacks. Like if I were to say, even in this video, that Rigathi Gachagwa's statements are not helping opposition, someone will say somewhere that he has been bought. Yeah? So ODM is facing the rage of Kenyans on Ruto. And because of that association, they are attacking ODM party, which means they can actually sustain that rage until 2027 and until post-2027. And lastly, there is what is called credibility of ODM as a political party. What does ODM party stand for? What has always been their stand? What is their ideology as a political party? Defending the citizens, fighting corruption, equity. Those are the values ODM always stood for. By working with Ruto, there are many Kenyans who believe that those gains are being eroded. I don't know what you think, but for me, the agreement between UDA and ODM party might actually benefit ODM party more than it would benefit William Ruto, because with the death of Raila Odinga, ODM had no chance in government. Today, ODM party has chance in government because of those kind of agreements. So they must be very careful with the kind of agreements. Personally, I don't believe that those agreements are important. What matters is the goodwill. Raila entered into some agreement with who? Mwai Kibaki. Signed, witnessed by Anan before the international press, was never honored. So it requires goodwill. For example, if you ask ODM supporters, they'll tell you that the broad-based government has helped ODM, particularly in terms of their regions, compared to the handshake between Uhuru and Raila. Uhuru and Raila signed. This one and Ruto, signings were just forced, some 10-point agenda. But originally, even by the time people like Mbadi were being appointed to the cabinet, there was no signed agreement. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.